Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of our Gridiron Football Player of the Week show. I'm Jace Lejeune, alongside as always
Sophie Gischel.
Sophie is back on Gridiron Football Player of the Week. I had to do it by myself last week.
I'm sorry, Jace.
You left me hanging by myself.
I had to go home for Thanksgiving and go see my parents. I had to go see my mom.
Yeah, that just shows you how committed I am. That I was able to still do it.
You live here.
I found a way. But appreciate everybody that's joining us here at Gridiron Football Player of the Week show. I know it's been kind of a weird week as well. Quarterfinal playoffs for last week, and so we're going to run a little bit less and less of these nominations because there's only so many teams playing at this point. But if you are a team playing at this point of the year, well, congratulations on a great season, and hopefully we'll see you in either the Superdome or wherever you're playing your state championship games at. So before we start the show, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are really growing right now. We have over 40,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So give a round of applause for that. That's some good news there. 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. So, hey, if you're watching us, it's going to take pretty much less than a second to do. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free, and it helps us a whole bunch. So, Sophie, we're going to go into it. A Gridiron Football Player of the Week. Louisiana went back on top last week. We let Texas get their moment in the sun.
We had our moments. I was happy.
Yeah, we were able to get it done. So, but now let's actually go over our Gridiron Football Player of the Week, and that's why everybody is tuning in right here. This week, this is actually our fewest nominations we've had. Makes sense. There's only so many teams left playing. So we actually got 10 nominations this week for our Gridiron Football Player of the Week. Sophie, kick us off. Who is number 10 this week?
For number 10, we've got Westminster Christian Academy in Opelousas, quarterback Stephen George with 12 votes.
And Stephen George, what a season he has had for Westminster for the Crusaders this year. Got to see him play over the last couple of years. He's been a starter for the Crusaders the last 4 years. And he's actually going to be playing in our bowl game at the end of the year. So he's one of the quarterbacks I'll be playing. But right now, Westminster's undefeated. They have not lost a game yet. They're playing a semifinal game on Friday. But Stephen George is a big reason why they've been undefeated this year. He had 333 total yards of offense by himself. He had 185 passing, 148 yards rushing, so it shows you what kind of dual threat quarterback he is. And he also scored 4 total touchdowns in a 52-22 win over St. Edmund. They played St. Edmund. That's their district opponent, actually, in the playoffs. They played them earlier this year. Westminster won that football game, and they won the rematch as well because of a great performance, dual threat performance from Stephen George, 333 total yards and 4 touchdowns. Kicking off our list at number 10.
For number 9, we actually got a Florida guy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
From Florida, we got Port St. Joe quarterback Jay Curry with 13 votes.
Yeah, the Sunshine State, even though we can probably use some sunshine right now. It's pretty dark. Dark and gloomy over here. But Jay Curry is a quarterback, 2027 quarterback, so keep an eye on him for next year from Port St. Joe High School. And this is his performance in the win over Holmes County High School. He completed 8 of 12 passes for 143 yards, threw for 2 touchdowns through the air. Also ran the football. Shows what kind of dual threat. We're starting off with the dual threat quarterbacks here. Guys that can not only throw but that can run. 12 carries, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's pretty impressive as well. I mean, you do the math. That's like 364 yards of offense. That's, I mean, off the top of my head. And 4 touchdowns. So pretty impressive performance, and that's most of the touchdowns scored in that football game as well for Port St. Joe. 33-20 win over Holmes County. So the guys that can throw it and run it, we got starting off our list.
And then for number 8, we got another quarterback.
Yep.
Might as well just add to it.
He can throw it and run it too.
We've got Dunham's quarterback Elijah Haven with 16 votes.
Yes, he can definitely throw and he can definitely run. Elijah Haven, the top quarterback from a lot of people in the country.
Really?
Yeah, no matter what state. But he's in Louisiana, 2027 quarterback, still has another year left. And people are like, man, when is he going to graduate? They're tired of seeing Elijah Haven. But pretty much everybody in the country has offered him. You look at all the big schools, and there's a reason why. But Elijah Haven had a great performance in the win over Newman in the quarterfinals. That was a 48-22 win for the Dunham Tigers. 306 yards passing through the air and 5 touchdowns throwing. He also ran the ball for 79 more yards and scored another touchdown. That's 6 touchdown performance from Elijah Haven. He's been doing this all year long, so it seems like nothing really too special for Elijah. He probably won't tell you he's nothing too special. That's just what kind of player he is. But 6 touchdowns and a great performance, 6 touchdown performance to help the Tigers punch their ticket to the semifinals.
Alrighty, number 7. I'm not gonna lie to you, Jason. I don't like this team too much right now.
Oh, you don't?
I don't.
I wonder
really
why.
Don't.
I wonder why.
For number 7, we've got from Texas, DeSoto's wide receiver Ethan Feaster with 62 votes.
Does it have something to do with being your alma mater,
Yeah.
College Park? Is it something to do with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Sophie. Let's just say Sophie probably didn't get a vote in for Ethan this week, but Ethan Feaster sent your team packing last week, but really great player, one of the top players in the entire country. In fact, Ethan signed with USC, so he's going to be a USC Trojan. Great dynamic player for DeSoto High School, and the Trojans, Lincoln Riley, they're getting themselves a great football player, a dynamic player, and who actually reclassified. He was actually supposed to be 2027, but he reclassified, graduated early, so he's 2026. So he's actually going to go sign and play at USC. But he's keeping DeSoto rolling. They're still on their way. They have a chance to compete for a state championship as well. 12 carries, 12 catches, 167 yards, and 4 touchdowns in the win. 56-35 over College Park. And I'm sure Sophie is smiling, really excited about that result. Thumbs down. But you got to give credit to Ethan Feaster. What a performance. 12 catches, 167 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Way to go, Ethan. Good. Hey, you want to clap for Ethan? Yeah, good job. Good job all the way around. But I'm sure Sophie is excited that we get to move on to the next player.
Good job, Ethan. Next one. For number 6, we've got Riverside Academy's running back Jaden Obikwe with 96 votes.
That's 2 straight weeks for Jaden making this list, and Jaden is definitely having his role in making sure that the Riverside Academy Rebels are making their run to a state championship. They defeated Ouachita Christian, which is a great football program, like a powerhouse program in the state of Louisiana. 38-14, and for Jaden, he had another great performance. He was on this list last week. He's on this list this week. 31 carries, 234 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground. They won the football game 38-14. And remember, Dedrick Lasty, he was a running back at Riverside Academy last year. He actually won our Gridiron Football Player of the Year. So Jaden trying to keep the trophy, keep the gold Letterman jacket patch at home at Riverside Academy, especially you're making this list a couple of times late in the season. But hey, if you're making this list this late in the season on a couple of different times, hey, maybe we'll see the Rebels have an opportunity to do that once again in their semifinal game this week.
Alrighty. For number 5, we've got St. James running back Jaden Villanova with 153 votes.
Sophie, I got used to saying the last name Villanova in this football game a lot. I actually called this game. I was there in person when St. James defeated Oak Grove. And Oak Grove's a great football program. Got a lot of respect for Ryan Gregory. But they just could not hang with the St. James Wildcats that night. So they have something in Bashery. They have a train horn, okay? Oh. And they blow the train horn every time that St. James makes a good play. Well, when you win the football game 57-13, let's just say I heard that train horn all night long, and I think I'm still hearing that train horn right now. But Jaden Villanova is the player you talked about. 176 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. And the thing is, he has a brother, Jacaius Villanova, and he had himself a great game as well. He had 2 touchdowns receiving, and he also got over 3,000 yards receiving in the game. So congratulations to Jacaius. And you got little brother Jaden actually making the list, 176 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. So it was all about the Villanovas. They were taking over. I think their mom, she commented on Facebook saying, man, they're keeping you on your toes, Jace, about which Villanova to call. I was like, yes, you're right. They were keeping on my toes. I'm not sure it was Jaden getting the ball, Jacai's getting the ball, but a lot of Villanovas were touching the football that night. I can tell you that.
Alrighty. For number 4, we've got Iowa running back and safety, Kayston Lewis, with 694 votes.
I mean, talk about taking over a game. That's what Kayston did from Iowa High School. And Iowa,
everything?
He did everything. And, I'm sure Lutcher was like, man, he took over that game. And you look at the final score, it was a good football game. Lutcher's a good team, 28-21. Iowa won that football game. And it makes a lot of sense why he makes his list when you're looking at it. Hey, it's a 1-touchdown win. It's a 1-touchdown victory to go to the semifinals for Iowa that's still undefeated right now. But if you look, he did not only on offense, but he did on defense too. He had 12 carries, 119 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Oh.
So 2 rushing, 1 receiving, had a 50-yard receiving touchdown in the game. They only scored 4 touchdowns. He scored 3 of them. And then you look at defense here. He had 11 tackles, 1 TFL, 1 pass breakup, 1 forced fumble, and might as well have the interception to seal the game, seal the win. So,
why not?
Yeah, I mean, Lutcher fans definitely were tired of seeing Kayston Lewis play because he took over that game. What a great individual performance by him to help the Yellow Jackets, Coach Tommy Johns. The Yellow Jackets punched their ticket to the semifinals, and right now Yellow Jackets still rolling, still undefeated, and have a chance to go to the Superdome if they can win this next football game.
Oh.
But they got a great chance of doing so, especially with a guy like that playing like that both ways. That's pretty tough to defend.
Alrighty, for number 3, we've got Ascension Catholic running back Trevin Simon, again,
Yeah.
with 1,342 votes.
Trevin is coming, I mean, to be honest with you, he's becoming probably the leader for the Gridiron Football Player of the Year, what his season has been this year. I think it's something like if he needs 60 more yards rushing and 2 more touchdowns, he has a single season record in Louisiana for rushing yards and rushing touchdowns this season. He's been absolutely phenomenal this season for the Bulldogs, and it's crazy because he's putting Madden-like numbers every week. But he had 400 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns in a 50-42 win over Catholic Point Capee last week, and that's what he's been doing every week. It seemed like that's shocking. That stat line's really shocking. But he's been doing that every single week, and it's not shocking anymore, which is pretty crazy. But Trevin Simon, what a season he has had for the Bulldogs this season, especially trying to replace Chad Elsey. He's taking over, man. He's beating all of Chad's records and all the other great Ascension Catholic Bulldog running backs that came before him. So Trevin Simon, man, he is still putting up those big numbers and have a chance to do that again in the semifinals. A big game against Westminster we talked about earlier in the show.
Alrighty, for number 2, we're in our top 2, Jace.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Almost there. We've got U-High's running back Sage Ingram with 3,281 votes.
Yeah, Sage is another great running back, another underrated running back like Trevin is in state of Louisiana. I'm shocked that they're having more schools offering Sage. This is a dynamic running back, pretty much an all-around versatile running back that can beat you inside, outside, catch out of the backfield. He can do it all. But they have a great running back duo there, Sophie. One's nickname is Fire. The other one's nickname is Ice. So they got the Fire-Ice combo. Sage Ingram and Corbin Odell. Corbin is Fire, and then you got Sage Ingram as Ice. So we got the Ice portion of that running back duo. But Sage had 16 carries, 147 yards, and 2 touchdowns. They won the football game against Madison Prep in the rematch, 32-30. A lot different from the first game I called this year between these two teams when it was 14-8. So it's 32-30. A little bit more higher scoring, a lot more fast pace in that football game. But Sage Ingram was absolutely key in getting the victory. I think he was like the LHSA Network player of the game. And obviously he was in the running for a Gridiron Football Player of the Week, but just coming in short at number 2 this week, over 3,000 votes. And then time for number 1, Sophie, is our number 1 Gridiron Football Player of the Week. Like I said, once again, thank you so much to everybody that's donated, that has voted for the Gridiron Football Player of the Week, and obviously the donations that's going towards the Gridiron Football All-American Bowl game. So round of applause to everybody that's voted, that's donated. And now, Sophie, it's like, shut up, Chase. Let's get up and get the who wins. Who won? Who is our Gridiron Football Player of the Week?
By a landslide, we've got Ascension Catholic defensive end Christopher Anthons with 11,141 votes.
Congratulations, Christopher Anthons is our Gridiron Football Player of the Week for Week 13. And you think it'd be an Ascension Catholic player this year, it'd probably been Trevin Simon, but it's actually his teammate Christopher Anthons, who's definitely played a big role as well for the Bulldogs this season, especially in their playoff win against Catholic Point Capee. I mean, talk about a guy that's been pretty much unblockable for Ascension Catholic. 10 tackles, 4 assists, 4 TFLs, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. So it was all a matter because of 2 great teams. Drew Morrison's a great quarterback for Catholic Point Capee. Trevin Simon's a great running back for Ascension Catholic. It was going to come down. The game was going to come down to what defense was going to make those stops. And Chris Anthons was the guy that stood up big time for the Ascension Catholic Bulldogs. 2 sacks, 4 TFLs, a forced fumble, 10 tackles. He was pretty much unblockable the entire night. Like we mentioned, hey, it's not just a quarterback award. Exactly. It's not a running back award. It's a football player award. So if you ball out, you ball out. And we had a safety win it last week. We had a defensive end win it this week. So it just comes to show you defense wins championships, and you see it right there. Defensive players are winning it deep in the postseason. So what do you think about this list? We have Chris Anthons, or Gridiron Football Player of the Week, just only one time for Texas so far.
I know.
But Louisiana has pretty much dominated so far the list this year. But we've had a lot of defensive players win Gridiron Football Player of the Week. Remember, that was a joke earlier this season about how many linebackers won.
There's what, 3 in a row, I think?
I think so. It was like 3 or 4 in a row. I mean, they're stacking up early in the season. Then we had a run. Okay, some quarterback showed up, and then you've seen the run we've had. Angel Morrow from Denham Springs was our Week 12 when you're gone. He was our Player of the Week in Week 12. Going back to Week 11, our Texas guy, Gage Toller from Woodville High School. We had Oaten Layton in Week 10 from Oak Grove. Logansport quarterback Keaton Case in Week 9. Archbishop Hannah linebacker Grayson Dupree. And then Week 7 we had Albany running back Jonah Grove. Week 6 we had, this was our offensive run. We had New Iberia running back Kendrick John Lewis. We had Lake Arthur linebacker Wyatt Monso. Grand Lake quarterback J.J. LeBeouf. And Buckeye linebacker Ty Curtis. And Pine linebacker Caden Stogner. And then finally, Sangamon quarterback Cooper Babin. So those are our Gridiron Football Player of the Week so far. And Sophie, we only have 2 more left. We got semifinals this week, and then obviously state championship week, and that's it. So we only got 2 more Letterman jacket patches to give out, which kind of leads into my next thing. Sophie, what does Christopher win?
He wins this awesome, super amazing blue and red Letterman patch. Gridiron Football National Player of the Week 2025.
Absolutely. And Chris, you're probably wondering, when are you getting that? Well, we'll have a postseason after our Gridiron Football Bowl game. We'll have an awards banquet for our top players this year. And all the players that won Gridiron Football Player of the Week will be getting their Letterman jacket patches at the awards banquet. And so what is also, he has a chance to win
An awesome, super amazing gold Letterman patch for Gridiron National Football Player of the Year.
And that will be voted on by the Gridiron football staff, and I'll be voted on by the Gridiron football coaches. I'll be coaching in the bowl game. So that is our Gridiron football player of the year. Also, we'll try to catch up with Christopher and Coach Taylor James before a pretty big game. I mean, it's like you win and you're in the Superdome. So it is going to be a big week for the Ascension Catholic Bulldogs. But we'll try to catch up with Christopher and Coach James for a little pre-game talk because they got a big game against Westminster Christian. So that should be a fantastic semifinal matchup. But once again, round of applause, Christopher Anthony. Congratulations, man, for winning Gridiron Football Player of the Week. Thanks to Roman, operating the camera, was a producer today. It looks like that he'll be joining me next week because you're leaving me, after 1 week back, you're leaving me behind again.
I gotta go home for break.
Come on, Sophie. Come on.
When I'm done with finals, I'm out of here.
Yep, finals week for a lot of our workers here. So thank you to everybody that's watched the show. Please share it out. Please like the show and subscribe. Like we mentioned, we're trying to build our YouTube. It's really growing a lot over the last couple months. We have jumped up to 40,000 subscribers. So we can't thank you enough if you've already subscribed. If you haven't, do so right now. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us right above our heads. You're not going to miss it. It's GridironFootballUSA.com. For Sophie, I'm Jace. Thank you so much for watching. And then remember, next week, final reminder, we'll have actually we're going to bring it back a week again, back a day again. So next week, if you have a nomination for Gridiron Football Player of the Week for Week 14, submissions, we're continuing to accept them on Friday night, and then we'll close that on Monday at noon. Because of the state championship games and everything going on, we're actually moving it back again on Wednesday. So it'll be Wednesday at noon. Not 9, at noon. Wednesday at noon we'll close voting. And then at 7 o'clock, because of the adjusted time, at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, we'll announce who the Gridiron Football Player of the Week is. So thank y'all guys for watching. We'll see y'all next week for the Gridiron Football Player of the Week show.